Hello, friends. Today we are going to discuss a very important concept of dentinal hypersensitivity, or simply referred to as dentine sensitivity. For that, let us look at a couple of slides. Here we go. So this is a very interesting and important diagram given in your Cohen's textbook of endodontics. Now, if you see, let us just first orient ourselves to the diagram here. What exactly is it showing? So the surface or the top or the upper layer is showing the surface of the tooth devoid of enamel. There's no enamel. So there's exposed dentine. Point number one. Because in the definition of dentinal hypersensitivity, the dentine has to be exposed. If it's covered with enamel, it does not come under the purview of dentinal hypersensitivity. That's number one. Number two, this is the outer layer of the dentine pulp complex. So this is the surface of the dentine. As we go deeper, we are going towards the center of the tooth. That is, we are going towards the soft tissue of the tooth, that is the dental pulp, right? Second, the cells, this nerve cell, this cell body is that of the odontoblast, and this is the odontoblastic process, which is going up to different distances inside their respective dentinal tubules. That's point number two. Second, these dentinal tubules are filled with dentinal fluid, and also the A delta nerve fibers are going up the distance into the dentinal tubules. Okay, so this is the orientation of this diagram. Now, there are different types of stimuli that we can uh, put on the tooth, right? One can be dehydration. That can be done by blowing compressed air from our three-way syringe. Second is heat. Third is cold. And fourth is hyperosmotic solutions. What are that? What is hyperosmotic solutions? They are basically sugary foods or drinks which change the uh, osmotic strength or the molarity of the solution. Now, irrespective of whatever stimulus that we are giving, what is going to happen? The first thing that happens is that there will be irritation, or there will be movement of the dentinal fluid. That movement of the dentinal fluid will lead to irritation of the terminal nerve endings, which are the A delta nerve fibers. Action potential will be generated, pain pathway will be activated, and ultimately pain will be perceived. Right? That is why A delta nerve fibers along with C fibers are known as nociceptors. That's point number three. Now, the next important point is what will be the direction of dentinal fluid flow based on the kind of stimulus that we give. Now, this is a purely academic question because clinically it does not have any significant relevance. We are only interested in the fact that the dentinal fluid moves, and that's it. And it irritates the A delta nerve fibers. Whether it's moving inwards or outwards is a matter of pure academic concern, and which is exploited by the examiners to ask you MCQs, right? So what is going to happen is, what we need to memorize here is heat. Heat is the only stimulus out of the four. Out of the four, heat is the only stimulus which will cause expansion of the fluid. Understandably so, you heat any fluid, it expands, and therefore the dentinal fluid will go inwards, right? Apart from that, dehydration, cold, hyperosmotic solutions. The direction of fluid movement is outward, that is towards the dentine surface. All right. So in this, what is important is to memorize heat. Even if you're not able to memorize these four different words, that is dehydration, heat, cold, hyperosmotic solutions, just memorize heat, right? So that you know that the direction of fluid movement inward is that of heat. Now, what kind of image-based question can be asked here? What the examiner can do is he can simply remove these words, dehydration, heat, cold, hyperosmotic solutions, and replace them with, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, or simply or simply I would say they can replace them with um just a second. Yeah. And simply, yeah, replace them with say A, B, C, and D. And then in the MCQ, they can just say that what is B. So you just have to know the direction of the fluid movement. So if B, the direction of fluid movement is downwards or towards the pulp or towards the inside of the tooth, then B represents heat. All else, A, C, and D would represent the other stimulant because the fluid movement, direction of fluid movement is outwards, right? So these are the two or three different questions that can come from your dentinal hypersensitivity and this related very important image that can give you image based question. It can also be asked in written form, like application of heat to the exposed dentine. What will it lead to? It would lead to always causes the dentinal fluid to move inward. So heat is the key term here, which leads us to the answer of always the fluid movement will go inward. Okay, so this was the discussion for today. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.